Day 234 in Space Station Quasar III, first inspection. My name is Dr. Marcus Lee, American, 46 years old, specialist in space mineralogy. It's been exactly 12 hours since I've checked the progress of the experiments. Capsules number 1, 2, and 3 have failed to produce oxygen again, and the living specimens in it have perished again. Capsules 4 to 8 continue to show absolutely zero signs of a positive nor negative reaction. The several different combinations of gases, liquids, solids from planet Earth and other planets have not successfully interacted in any significant way. Capsules 9 to 15, the materials from Earth were destroyed. The levels of destruction range from 45% to 99%. Once again, I'm labeling the materials as highly toxic and unfit for transporting back to Earth. And that's it. I will replace the failed experiments with new tests, and I'll be returned to give an update in exactly 12 hours from now. End of report. I groaned with exhaustion as I finished the recording, and when I lean back heavily on the chair, it echoes the sound with its tired hinges, and the creaking of the chair echoes in the empty room out toward the hallways and probably spreads all over Quasar III like an eerie sign of life, as I was already a ghost hunting myself. I'm the only person in this station somewhere in space, and I've been alone for 234 days and counting. The only reason I haven't lost my mind is because I've trained extensively for this my entire life. It's not even the first time I'm in space. It's only been the longest I've been entirely alone. My job in this station is to develop a series of experiments that consist of studying materials from other planets, especially the way they react with materials from our planet Earth. The goal is to figure out the levels of safety, possible uses, and kind of dangers that humanity could find on these planets. The reason why these experiments are conducted here in a space station is to avoid taking the extraterrestrial elements to our planet and risking not only a lethal error occasioned by something as simple as a tiny leak of oxygen, but, as far as we know, a successful experiment could result in the elements creating something catastrophic for the entire human race. There's a reason why this station is called the Third. Tragedies have happened before, unfortunately. Obviously, I would like to avoid a catastrophe and survive this mission safe and sound. However, there are only so many failed tests a scientist can stand before we go out of our way to make something happen. Anything, good or bad. But if I don't make two things react in some way soon, I will genuinely lose my mind. I don't care about the loneliness. I don't mind the infinity of space and my undeniable insignificance. What I can't bear is to sit here, day after day, and let these precious materials go to waste because we're too scared to do more than the bare minimum. Every day, I hesitate, and every day, I decide against saying something in my voice recordings, but I haven't been completely honest. There is a 16th capsule, and it's always been kept completely empty, until now. I chose a small piece of rock from a random planet, something that doesn't resemble the Earth too much, to keep things interesting, but nothing too unfamiliar, to minimize the probabilities of unpleasant surprises. However, for a full week now, I've been playing with it, experimenting with new off-the-books methods to make it interact with elements from our planet, and still no results. Yesterday, I lost my patience. I did something that hasn't been tried before in the long history of this project. I forgot about earthly elements. I combined two extraterrestrial materials. I exposed this piece of rock to a liquid substance obtained from an asteroid. I let it rest for the mandatory 12 hours. And then, to my absolute delight, I found the liquid had disappeared and the rock had disintegrated to a very thin powder. Finally! About fucking time! Okay, look, I know the right thing would be to record the results of the experiment. It could be a valuable lesson for the future, or, in the worst case scenario, a life saving warning. But I can't bring myself to do it. If this turns out wrong, but not bad enough to keep me from facing the consequences, these would be bad. I would lose everything, and I'm not ready for that. It's not worth it. Well, not yet. If I'm going to lose everything for one experiment, then I better make it worth it. I have to push the boundaries just a little more. I have to... not quite sure what to do. I debate with myself and I pace the length of the entire station several times before coming up with a plan. The first step is relatively easy. I'll just toy with this new element. I'll heat it up and lower the temperature. I'll try pressure, friction, electricity, and then we'll go for earthly elements. Now, if all else fails, I guess I'll repeat the process of introducing other extraterrestrial materials. After all, these capsules are created with the strongest, safest materials humanity has ever created. I couldn't be safer standing on the other side of the glass. All right, I'm counting on you. Give me something good. That's what I whisper to that minuscule accumulation of pale orange sand. I have a lengthy list of steps to follow until I get this new element to react. I could have never imagined that the first thing I did would create the most unexpected, dangerous, yet fascinating reaction imaginable. There's no time to think, no time for me to consider reasons, search for explanations, or try to protect myself. It's as simple as pushing one button. I only increase the temperature of the capsule 1 degree, just 1 degree. The effect is immediate. The ship starts to tremble. The sand is sparkling like tinder, flying all over the capsule. I'm afraid it's about to catch fire or even explode. Then, there's something like lightning crossing the length of the capsule, and for a second, all I see is endless darkness. That's when the glass separating me from that violent reaction is suddenly hit by a flurry of rocks. It's a storm of maddening proportions. Rocks of all shapes, sizes, and colors hit the glass at full speed. My body is attacked by a tremor. Everything happens so quickly. I can't scream, I can't run. I have only 1 second to fear the glass will break and I'll die here regretting this decision on my last breath. Then, I manage to push a different button. As soon as the capsule returns to its original temperature, there's a new strike of lightning, so bright it almost blinds me, and everything is over. The calm that follows afterward leaves me shaking. It's like the violence has left the capsule and taken residence inside my mind. I fall to my knees and work very hard for a few minutes to get my breathing under control. I spend the next several hours analyzing what the hell had happened, but I have trouble believing the results of my analysis. The capsule is half filled with countless rocks that entered out of nowhere in a storm. And, according to the test I ran, those rocks perfectly match those found in the rings surrounding a nearby planet that closely resembles Saturn in our solar system. I'm talking about a completely identical match. I suppose it's not impossible in our infinite universe, but this is incredible. I've also studied a video recording of the moment this phenomenon happened. The speed at which these rocks invaded the station is also exactly the same speed the rocks, asteroids, and moons orbit this previously mentioned planet. I can't explain it. I simply know the truth. These new elements created a portal that brought these rocks inside the space station. The magnitude of this discovery brings me to tears, but I'm buzzing with energy and unable to stay still. I have to try again. There's no time to lose. There's only a limited amount of the rock we extracted from that random planet, and I would like to know as much as I can about this phenomenon before letting the rest of humanity know about the impossible becoming possible. There's only one problem. I'm consumed by a bone-chilling thought. Part of my fear is due to the fact that I'm all alone and vulnerable against this new phenomenon, but my fear only grows as my test continues. Because the next portal doesn't open up in the same place. They never do. I have no idea what to expect and no way to control it. and I'm forced to see things so magnificent and horrifying that I know for a fact I'll devote myself to this experiment until I die. Because at that moment, I can't ever picture myself going to sleep ever again. 2 more tests leave me thoroughly disappointed, finding only empty space on the other side of the portal. This break allows me to take a breath, make annotations, and make sure I'm still alive and in one piece. And I'm glad I enjoyed this moment because it'll be the last instant of peace I'll ever know. One of the tests fills the capsule with water. The liquid crosses the portal so fast, so aggressively, that by the time I turn down the temperature to close the portal, there are only a few inches of space left. My heartbeat skyrockets, thinking of what could have happened if I let the water pressure go up and up until it swallows the entire station. My studies reveal that this is nearly perfectly normal water, but it's not from Earth. It could sustain life on the planet it comes from, but I have no way of knowing what planet it was, and no way to open the portal again in the same place. The curiousness of all of it nearly drives me mad. I feel so unsettled that on the next attempt, I hastily turn up the temperature 2 degrees, and I'm barely surprised by the lightning that's twice as bright, the portal that's twice as big, and the absolutely insane blast of hot lava that crosses the portal at breakneck speed. I turn down the temperature, but not without burning the tip of my finger with the incredible heat radiating all over the capsule. This experiment is going to kill me, and I've never felt more exhilarated in my life. This is it. This is what I've been training for. The lava needs time to settle, to be studied and cleansed, so I take the impulsive decision to empty all other capsules. I throw away all the unnecessary tests. This is all that matters now. This is everything to me, and soon, it's going to be everything to the rest of humanity too. The portals open up one by one. They bring me asteroids and fill the capsules with gas. They show me walls of solid ice of unmeasurable depths, and a raging fire that peaks inside a capsule to lick the walls of glass and warm me. I think I'll be consumed by these portals soon if I'm not careful. The rocks that provide me with the delicate yellow sand that creates space portals are quickly running out. I have a feeling that if the portals don't kill me, I'll kill myself if I can't keep studying them. It is, however, a nearly impossible task. I have lost track of time and I still don't know much more about the portals than I did after accidentally opening up the first one. Still, nothing could have prepared me for opening up a portal and seeing nothing but green grass on the other side. And then a toy car comes through the portal, flying weakly at the glass wall separating us and falling to the floor, leaving me completely puzzled. I'm exhausted. I'm probably insane. I am unstoppable, and I'm a very stupid person that didn't understand what was happening until it was too late. Right after the toy comes a little boy, a toddler, through the portal. No! I yell loudly as I punch the glass. The boy is stunned and struggling to breathe in the environment of the capsule, but through the portal comes enough clean air to keep him alive. I haven't recovered from the surprise of seeing a human safely cross the portal when the little boy's eyes fill with tears and he starts sobbing. No, come on, go back, just go back, cross the portal. I scream and repeatedly hit the glass wall separating me from the boy, but it's useless. If anything, he looks even more scared when he sees me. I sigh gravely. I know it's impossible and unreasonable to keep him here with me, and I'm aware that I have to return him to Earth before my unstable brain starts to consider including him in the experiments. I ask myself what's one more crazy thing to do among all this chaos, and then I enter the capsule. The fresh air from home coming from the portal feels good, but makes me very, very dizzy after weeks of being locked in a space station. Come on, kid, just get close to the portal, okay? Let's take you back home, alright? I tried to reason as I rubbed my temples, willing the impending headache to give me just a minute, but the stupid boy won't stop sobbing. Stop it! I yell, yanking the boy's arm. My heart clenches as I see the fear in his innocent eyes. With another sigh, I gently start to guide him forward, pushing him delicately until every hair in my body stands on end at the proximity of the portal. At the very last second, when I'm about to push him through, the boy reacts in fear and pulls me along with him. I could have resisted, but this burst of clean air hit my senses hard enough to make me sick. Helplessly, I cross the portal along with the little boy. I fall down on the soft grass. Distantly, I hear the cries of a mother running forward to take her son in her arms. Vaguely, I notice the blades of grass floating around me toward the portal, but then everything becomes too real to ignore. The boy and his mother run away, and the kind man drags me away before I'm sucked through the portal again. A big chunk of soil floats up toward the portal, and before I'm taken away from that completely random and previously innocuous backyard, I catch a glimpse of a tree starting to come off the ground, getting sucked by the portal, and towards space. I created this portal. I opened it up on the exact planet I was meant to protect, and now there's nobody on the other side there to close it. The entire planet could be about to be dragged through a space portal, and that's when my body collapses in exhaustion and leaves me unconscious.